Hi folks, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Kat. I'm a licensed registered dietitian nutritionist and online nutrition coach. And on this channel, we like to talk about weight inclusive focused approaches to health, as well as diving into scammy and in my opinion, unethical nutrition related businesses, products, mostly nutrition related MLMs and other fear mongering nutrition claims. Today, we are talking about BRAVENLY Global, which is a somewhat newer MLM. Now, this specific MLM was getting more popular a couple of months ago. There were several distributors leaving another nutrition related MLM called Happy Co. A lot of them were leaving that to join BRAVENLY Global. So we are just going to do a little deep dive into the CEO, kind of a little bit more about the company itself, dive into a few of their more popular supplements, and then go through a review of their kind of nutrition plan or nutrition program. So if that sounds good to you, let's go. My goal with these videos is just to kind of give my opinion, being a registered dietitian. I mean, I don't know everything, and I will say up front, I have not tried these products. At that same time, you don't need to try something in order to have an educated opinion about something. Sometimes with these kind of program overviews or reviews, I'll get some people in the comments saying like, well, you haven't tried this, blah, blah, blah. You have no right to give an opinion if you haven't tried it. But my response has always been, if a doctor were to recommend a specific kind of medication for a patient of theirs, that doctor doesn't have to try that specific medication before recommending it, before prescribing it, right? So we wouldn't expect a doctor to go through something like even like chemotherapy before recommending it to a patient. That's not what happens. They can use the information about that specific kind of treatment and then make a plan based off that. So being a registered dietitian, when I look at nutrition programs, plans, products, supplements, I can give an educated opinion based off research, based off evidence-based practice, and so forth. So that is where I'm coming from with this video. I have not personally tried these products, but again, you don't need to in order to have a professional opinion over them. But with everything on my channel, I encourage you to do your own information gathering before coming up with your own conclusions. These are my opinions, and yeah, that's it. So BRAVENLY Global, the CEO is Aspen Emery. Aspen is a former Spanish teacher turned entrepreneur, trainer, mentor, leadership coach, and author of the book Chase Your Brave. So in her bio, it mentions Aspen started in the network marketing industry back in the early 2000s. She achieved top ranks in multiple companies due to being able to cast vision, develop and layer leadership within an organization, rise up those leaders, duplicate a system, teach, train, and coach a large team of people in an effective way. Arbonne was the first company that she built in. She says that she grew much as a leader and first discovered her abilities to teach and train in the network marketing industry. She then moved on to, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, it's Eiro, E-I-R-O. She achieved the top rank in that company in record speed and was one of the top income earners. And she created trainings and events to support the field and mentor thousands of people in there. And then she moved over to It Works. And surprisingly there, it looks like she switched from being a distributor to working on the corporate side. So she says, I have built successfully to top ranks, and now I get to work on the corporate side of field development, which I thought was really interesting because when you look at several different distributors and even like top upline leadership in general in multi-level marketing, a lot of them will encourage you and just kind of promote this idea of stepping away from corporate, the corporate side, corporate work, the 9 to 5 kind of thing, and have this kind of, achieve this kind of dream that you are just like living your life and not worrying about work and just kind of doing whatever you want to do at, you know, anywhere, anytime, working on vacation, all these different things, which sounds horrible. But I thought it was interesting that she achieved leadership position. She was very high in Arbonne. It doesn't say like what level she was at, but at least in the other one, that second one, she mentions that she achieved the top rank. My question is like, if you achieve the top rank, like why would you go back to corporate? And I mean, we know why. When we look at multi-level marketing and the numbers and just how it is unrealistic, a lot of the dreams that are being sold by distributors for people to join and everything, but even if you make it to the top though, you still are not like as free as a lot of distributors like to say that they are on social media. And I think this is a really good example of somebody who was successful, who made it to the top and still left that to go to the corporate side. What does that really say about being at the top levels? Just saying. So after It Works, she was a co-founder of a supplement, MLM. It was called Emrys, EMRIS. And that one turned into an entrepreneurial business education platform from what I can see. So they used to have supplements, and she was a co-founder of that. But from my understanding, the other co-founder, they continued on, and it's now kind of more of that entrepreneurial business education platform, which looks really sketchy based on just a brief look at the website. But moving on, she then founded BRAVENLY Global. According to her LinkedIn, her education is in secondary education Spanish and curriculum and instruction. So she appears to be like qualified for things on like education, but I'm not so sure about supplements. There are currently 12 ranks of BRAVENLY Global, including independent brand partner, senior brand partner, executive brand partner, director, senior director, executive director, vice president, senior vice president, executive vice president, silver executive vice president, gold executive vice president, and platinum executive vice president. That's a lot of vice presidents. That's a lot of directors, but that's a lot of vice presidents. And where's the president? Where's the president? Can you ever make president? Can you imagine a company having like 100 vice presidents? That's just not how it works. So there's also an ambassador program, which you pay $9.99 to join. And while you do get $10 credit back and 10% off orders, you should not have to pay to be an ambassador of any company for a product, in my opinion. If you are an ambassador for a company, you shouldn't have to pay to be a part of it, in my opinion. Like, I am technically ambassadors for like different companies. An example of one is Orgain Protein. I can request samples for clients of mine. I can have them sent to me and I can send it to them, or I can have them sent straight to the client. I can get samples myself. I can get continuing education, like opportunities, different things like that. I don't pay. I have not paid a single dime to be a part of that ambassador program. So I don't know. Whenever I hear ambassador program and I see that you have to pay to be a part of it, it's a little bit sketch. So there are apparently 3 pillars of BRAVENLY Global. It says, BRAVENLY, to carry yourself with strength and courage, leading others in fairness and truth in a way that respects God, living honestly and honorably. To live life bravenly means learning to discern the heart of a person by listening to them and passionately pursuing your purpose. And the 3 pillars are courage, integrity, and impact. I can just see how this kind of messaging can really begin to manipulate believers. And while this is Aspen's business, she can have her target audience be whatever, whoever she wants to reach. Just some of the verbiage, the target audience, the rate of manipulation in there, in my opinion, something doesn't sit right with me. Just going after that kind of target audience, using that verbiage and bringing religion into it, I think that kind of sets the tone for potentially some manipulation coming into play and using more of like an emotional kind of appeal, kind of like emotion driven marketing versus information driven marketing. All right, so let's dive a little bit into the actual product. So the first product is Balance, not necessarily the first one, but the first one that we're going to talk about. So Balance is one that has 9 different blends, and that includes a whole food and prebiotic blend, an antioxidant blend, a fiber blend, metabolism blend, immune system blend, veggie blend, anti-stress blend, a digestive and probiotic blend, and a detox support blend. So a lot of stuff going on there. So just kind of starting out, so the whole food and prebiotic blend, there's wheatgrass, inulin, so something that might cause some gastric discomfort in some people, alfalfa, spirulina, spinach, chlorella, broccoli, so just a general kind of what I would consider kind of in a lot of like greens supplements almost. And I know they have the veggie blend a little bit later with tomatoes, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, parsley, things like that. And you know that depending on the person, that might not sit too well with their digestive system. They do have a digestive and probiotic blend in there. There is some digestive enzymes, which I always prefer for people to rule out bigger issues if they are having concerns with a lack of digestive enzymes. Mine is something like lactase. It's not really like a concern for bigger issues. Not having the lactase enzyme or having a deficiency in that lactase enzyme. Generally though, outside of that, if you do have enzyme deficiencies, that is something that I'm concerned that this would just kind of put a band-aid over. I would really encourage people to see a gastroenterologist to get other things ruled out if they do really need digestive enzymes. And then there's one probiotic strain in there. It's one that's generally considered healthy, but you know, is this, I don't see this being, you know, refrigerated or anything. That's a concern. So like how much of what you are getting probiotic wise, how much of that is actually being consumed alive to help build that healthy gut microbiome? You don't know. Okay. So next up, there's that antioxidant blend. So antioxidants are great, but the concern, and there's no like concern when you're talking about antioxidant intake from food. Where we do start to see concerns with antioxidant intake is when it's in large amounts in things like supplements. And supplementing in high doses of antioxidants can actually increase the risk of certain cancers. We hear the term antioxidant and I think a lot of people can assume that's a good thing, but just like anything else, there can be too much of a good thing. And antioxidants in supplements is something that definitely can be too much of a good thing. So that's just, you know, one of my concerns. And I'm not saying that this specific product, you know, would increase the risk for anything like that. But just in general, when you see antioxidants and an antioxidant blend, and they're really kind of encouraging that side of things, and you're adding on a whole bunch of other supplements in addition to something like this, it's just something to think about and to bring it up with your doctor for sure, especially if you do have a risk for, you know, or a family history of certain cancers and something. That's something that your doctor should definitely know about if that is possible. There is a fiber blend in there, just, you know, soluble fiber. Essentially, there's an emulsifier in there. A metabolism blend. So I would consider passing on coffee if I was taking this supplement, and people on blood sugar lowering medications should also consult with a doctor first. Just like when taking any kind of other supplements, herbal supplements, things like that. There's an immune system support blend, and so if you have any kind of autoimmune conditions, that's also a reason to bring this up with your healthcare provider. One of the ingredients on there, the echinacea, that is at a risk for some drug interactions, particularly for people who are taking multiple medications, so get that checked. And then there's an anti-stress blend. There's no specific info on these doses, and I mean, it's something that we see with proprietary blends. We don't know what exactly the amount is of that product in that supplement overall, and so when we don't know the amount, we can't like put that aside. We can't see if that aligns with recommended dosage. We just have to kind of take their word for it and kind of trust them, which is not something that I am, like any kind of company. If there's a proprietary blend and there are specific supplements in there, I want to know exactly what the amount is, because then I can reference some reputable sources and see what is a recommended dose. Like, is it actually going to be too much? Is it going to be too little? What's going on? Like, I need more information just for my own kind of where I would feel safe taking this or feel safe recommending it to someone. I just can't put my trust into someone else's kind of hands when it comes to individual supplements like this and having so many ingredients with proprietary blends. And there's also that detox support blend. Our livers do a great job of detoxing. We can support our liver with things like drinking water, eating a variety of fruits and vegetables, plants overall, prioritizing nutrient-dense foods, getting enough sleep, limiting alcohol intake, getting intentional movement in, and other health-promoting actions. And there's milk thistle specifically in that detox support blend. And so if somebody does have a history of like breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, endometriosis, or uterine fibroids, there's some like recommendations to consider avoiding that specific supplement. So just FYI, basically. And so my concern is with distributors. Like, are distributors being told all of those potential concerns or like potential issues? I don't know. Are they just kind of hearing all of the good things and then encouraging this product for everybody? All right, next up is the Metabolism Support Supplement, another proprietary formulation. And they say that this one may stimulate your metabolism, optimize your immunity, energy, digestion, and blood sugar levels, which is interesting because a lot of those things like immunity, digestion, those were included in that other supplement. And so it's just interesting how there are multiple supplements that they're using kind of similar verbiage on, and it'll continue as we go on looking at the other supplements. There's a chromium in there, which is a common metabolism supportive like supplement ingredient, but generally it doesn't typically do anything unless you are deficient in chromium, which is not a common deficiency. And there's a few other ingredients in there as well. It kind of looks like in my opinion, it looks like they threw a whole bunch of ingredients that need further research individually for metabolic benefits outside of deficiency, in my opinion. The next one is BRAVENLY Gold. Now it was designed to crush your hunger cravings, boost fat loss, and support a healthy defensive immunity. Again, we're seeing the same kind of verbiage when it comes to immunity, fat loss or metabolism that they were talking about earlier. There's, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but maitake mushroom. That one, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have an autoimmune condition, autoimmune disease, that's something you want to check with your doctor before use. And turmeric. Turmeric is safe for most people in moderate amounts, but if you are pregnant or taking medications, that's also something you want to check with the healthcare professional before drinking. And then there is Garcinia cambogia. Some specific studies on animals and humans have shown some positive short-term effects on that supplement and weight loss. The majority of the ones on humans have found no effect. And there's currently not enough reliable scientific evidence to recommend this specific ingredient. There have been some concerns over liver health, but it's not known if it was like this specific ingredient or one that was like another ingredient with this supplement, not BRAVENLY Global supplement, but just Garcinia cambogia in general. Whether it was that was causing those liver issues or if it was tied to something else and just being associated with it. More research is needed in general in the area, specifically with this ingredient. Yeah. And if you want to drink a turmeric latte, you know, sometimes I'll enjoy a turmeric latte just to kind of change things up from what I normally consume throughout the day. But there are so many non-MLM ways to go about that. Next up, there is BRAVENLY Boost Brew. This one is an instant coffee. It's coffee, MCT oil, and a mushroom blend. I am not really, like, mushrooms are kind of outside of my general like area practice scope even, I would say. I don't do like a lot of things with mushrooms ever, so I'm not really gonna go into that specific area. But with the MCT oil, there's no big concerns around that. Sometimes people feel more satisfied with MCT oil. Sometimes people don't. It's a medium chain kind of fat versus long chain. And so you don't need to have bile to break that down. So it's like pretty quickly absorbed in the body. It can be utilized for energy. You know, we eat food for energy, and so this one is just kind of a little bit quicker because you don't need to have that bile break it down beforehand. And one of the side effects though, because it can be absorbed pretty quickly, is sometimes people can have like diarrhea or just kind of just gastric discomfort from it kind of being consumed. So that is just something, if you were to kind of have it, you know, in the supplement or outside of it, definitely maybe not do it when you have to be like running around outside of the house, you know, at least for the first time, and just kind of see how your body reacts to that. There is taurine in there, which is a kind of amino acid, and no real concerns about that. It has some benefits on the sports nutrition supplement side of things, but again, there's no information as like specifically how much is in there. And when I am, you know, working with athletes or other people who want specific kind of supplement recommendation, I need to know how much is actually in there. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of proprietary blends. Is it worth the purchase of the product? I don't know. The next one is Ignite. Now this one is an appetite support supplement. They say it provides long-lasting boost of energy, speeds up your metabolism, and crushes any craving that comes your way. So there's a lot of a variety of vitamins in there. There's another proprietary blend, caffeine in there. So yeah, caffeine is going to speed up your metabolism, but is it something that is significant? Is it something that is going to, you're going to see like outcomes of that you're kind of looking for, or that they're insinuating that you would get from speeding up your metabolism? Some specific notes on the ingredients. There is phenylethylamine in there, which is possibly unsafe for most people. It's similar to the drug amphetamine and may cause similar side effects such as rapid heart rate, anxiety, and agitation. For people with bipolar disorder, the use of that might cause a conversion from depression to mania, and in people with schizophrenia, it may worsen symptoms of schizophrenia, including hallucinations and delusions. So that's just a specific ingredient. If anybody has those concerns, then you may definitely want to talk to your doctor before trying it. And then there's also 5-HTP, which should not be taken with any neurological drug that has been prescribed for an antidepressant or other cognitive purposes unless it is cleared by a medical doctor. And 5-HTP should be used cautiously. And then another supplement they have is called Glow Girl, and it's basically like a beauty gummy. It looks like it tastes pretty good. Like I can just imagine eating it and it just tastes like a super sweet like cherry kind of candy. I'm not gonna try it, but it is a vegan friendly collagen. So of course it's not gonna be true collagen because collagen is an animal product, but they are just taking like vegan sourced amino acids in what the high, like when we think of collagen, what the amino acid profile is, what the high amounts are. They're just kind of taking vegan sources from there. So it can kind of, you know, you can say that it's like very similar to collagen because you're having the same like chemical makeup. The individual amino acids are similar. So, I mean, collagen in general, it is another form of getting protein in, getting amino acids in. It's not going to automatically go to the specific areas in your body that you are wanting more collagen production in. Your body will use those amino acids, however, it needs to use those amino acids. So whenever, you know, collagen can be utilized in a very, you know, great way if somebody is wanting to get more protein in general, but it's not going to like go towards collagen production necessarily. It's just wherever your body needs amino acids. And if somebody was wanting to take collagen though, I would encourage, like, there's so many non-MLM ones, and you can get more collagen in actual like powder forms versus those little tiny gummies. And so yeah, not something that I would necessarily spend my money on when I could get collagen in other places. But again, if you're using collagen for like skin or something, it's not how it works. If you're using collagen for just additional protein intake, that's different. Okay, so let's go through their breakthrough program. I don't have any notes on this. This is just something that, one, I needed to get this filmed like right now, and I didn't really have time to do a whole lot of notes on it, but I just kind of wanted to have a live reaction of what some thoughts that I had about their program. Okay, so the BRAVENLY Breakthrough Program. It is a 30-day breakthrough. The hashtag is my 30 days. All right, so I'm just kind of scrolling through it. There's a message from the CEO, just kind of encouraging people to use it. Okay, so about the 30-day breakthrough program, this is a program that supports you in your journey to a healthier lifestyle, gives you a realistic approach to healthy eating by fueling your body with natural energy, enhances weight management by taking our products, creating the best version of you from the inside out. That's a lot of promises, but their program focuses on helping you recognize and heal your relationship with food while setting you up to develop healthier habits. Gone are the days of beating yourself up for following diet after diet, not feeling equipped to handle another program, struggling to get your bad habits under control. It's time for a breakthrough. Now, while I have not gone through all of this PDF yet, there is nothing in there about healing your relationship with food. In fact, they encourage you to just we'll continue on. They encourage you to pick a diet to follow that can actually harm your relationship with food further. So that right there, I'm just calling it out, is BS. All right, so you pick your breakthrough with this. So whether you want weight management, detox and gut reset, energy and stress report, or total body balance, you just choose whichever one that you're looking for. The weight management one is if you're wanting to lose, maintain, or gain weight. You're tired of carrying around those extra pounds, you're wanting to get back on track, or you've hit your goal and wanting to keep it off. So you choose that one if you want those things. You can choose detox and gut reset. If you're wanting to detox your body, you need to reset your gut, which isn't a thing. There's no reset button on your digestive system. You're feeling tired, sluggish, and or bloated, or you've overindulged and want the extra sludge gone. I don't know what they're mentioning or what they're thinking of sludge. There's no sludge in our bodies. You might need fiber to get some bowel movement out, but I wouldn't consider that sludge. Interesting. There's also an energy and stress support, which that is for if you're needing an energy boost, if you need help managing your stress, if you're always feeling tired and have a hard time staying focused, you're letting life get to you and need some mood balance, or there's a total body balance, which that one is if you want to focus on bringing balance and synergy to your body, if you're not feeling your best and you just want to feel good, if you want to focus on just being healthy, and if you need to give your body good nutrition and supplements. And each month you can pick your breakthrough that you're wanting to focus on for the next 30 days. And so you can just kind of cycle through all of these. So you choose which area you want to focus on, and then you pick your bundle. You can pick 3 for each of those. There are 3 options what it looks like. There's a double threat bundle, a radiance bundle, and then the next one would be breakthrough bundle, and then there's a total body bundle. So different options. Next up, you're going to want to declare your why. So you're going to write down why you chose that breakthrough, and then also what you want to accomplish with your breakthrough. So determine your goals. And then there's 5 daily keys to unlock your breakthrough. You have food, so you're going to commit to a food plan. You're going to take the BRAVENLY products, of course. You can move your body doing 20 minutes of physical activity, and you're going to hydrate, drinking half your body weight in ounces in water, which that's a fair starting point depending on the person. And then mindset, you're going to complete 15 minutes of self-development. So that first one though, key 1, the commit to a food plan, says whatever route you decide to go with your nutrition, make sure you stick with it for the full 30 days. Whether you choose keto, Whole30, intermittent fasting, or something else, practice listening to what your body needs while practicing dedication to the plan that will fuel your body for these 30 days. How is choosing any one of those which can be very much like in the fad area of things, how is that going to help you like have a healthy relationship with food? That can really worsen someone's relationship with food by making them have more food fear, giving them more like just confusion around food, you know, having this kind of unintentional elimination diet. You know, are they really feeling good because of the things that they're taking out, or are they feeling more energized maybe because of the foods that they're adding in? They're eating more plant foods, things like that. So like, yeah, that is not a way that I would encourage people to just kind of do a program, like choose any kind of nutrition program and stick with it for 30 days. That is just very, I would not do that to somebody, because to me, that just is just encouraging more, not, if not triggering an eating disorder, just encouraging more disordered eating, like disordered habits around eating, and not building a healthy relationship with food. And then key 2, that was taking the products, which we, you know, briefly went over, moving your body. So they have 20 minutes of physical activity to kind of give some examples of what that might look like, whether it's walking, you know, up and down some stairs around the block, or doing weightlifting. You kind of choose what works best with you. I am a fan of intentional movement, you know, joyful movement. I love going to the gym. That's something that a lot of people don't like to do. So it's important to find something that you do like to do, and something that can kind of encourage you to get that intentional movement in, because that is something that is very kind to the body in general. But making sure that it's something that is realistic and something that is not going to cause any kind of injury, or that you can kind of tailor to a specific current injury. There is drinking water, and then also practicing a mindset habit. I think that's something that can be positive for people, whether it's just kind of writing down things that they're grateful for, or just kind of doing like a guided meditation kind of thing. I think that can be beneficial for some people. For other people, maybe not so much. They do have sample food plans. They have like keto, Whole30, intermittent fasting, vegan, vegetarian, or gluten-free. I wouldn't want somebody to go on a gluten-free diet if that's not something that they need to. The goal is to reduce the amount of restriction when we're thinking about long-term sustainable habits that we can do in building and supporting a healthy relationship with food. They talk more about intermittent fasting in particular. They have a page on snacking and cravings. Ooh, let me read this. Cravings are intense or uncontrollable desires for specific foods, and a lot of the times they're often fried foods or processed junk that is high in sugar and saturated fats. Here are a couple of tips to help fight off your cravings that seem too strong to resist. So they recommend drinking water, plenty of water, getting 8 hours of sleep, which is not always realistic, especially if you're having a craving. It's hard to go back in time and get enough sleep the night before. Include more protein in your meals, and don't restrict, replace. So with water, a lot of people aren't getting enough water. A lot of people aren't getting enough sleep. Include more protein in your meals. Yes, it is something that we know that can help with satiety. It can help us kind of feel more energized, like for a longer amount of time. So I mean, it's important and it's helpful to get protein in your meals. But then the last one, let's read this. Don't restrict, replace. What's your immediate reaction when you completely remove something from your diet? Maybe it's something like panic. We have been there before. The answer to this is finding healthier alternatives to your favorite junk food. So no, when you completely remove something from your diet, something that can happen is you're kind of doing the opposite of building this kind of food habituation. You're kind of making this food into this special kind of thing almost, that if you were just kind of trying to willpower yourself away from it, you're not really getting that food habituation where it is no longer this kind of special thing. Like you can start to crave it more, or when you're consuming it, you can like have that lead to consuming more overall. Like if you want a chocolate chip cookie, you can have that chocolate chip cookie, and you're probably going to feel more satisfied with it if you have that versus having like a chickpea cookie with carob chips or something like that. Yeah, that carob and chickpea cookie might be a more nutrient dense alternative to that chocolate chip cookie, but is it going to be as satisfying? Is it going to actually satisfy that specific craving? And if you are having that craving, yes, I encourage you to kind of just check in and see, you know, am I hydrated? Am I hungry? Is this something that after I eat a meal, nourishing meal or nourishing snack, is it something that I'm still going to want? And I mean, you don't have to do all those things, and you can, you know, just choose to have that. There's nothing like right or wrong about that, or like morally related to that. But if something is wanting to approach and kind of work through their cravings, like my question is, why is that happening? Are you not eating throughout the day? And so when you get home, you're having this intense craving for something really high in sugar because your body is hungry and it's just craving energy. Because if that's the case, then we can kind of look at including more like larger meals throughout the day. Make sure that you're getting a snack so that when you are getting home, maybe your craving is not going to be as high because you are nourished. Or is it that you haven't had sleep for a long amount of time and your body is just craving food because and like high sugar foods because it is easy to digest and it knows it's going to get energy right away, right? So there are lots of different ways that we can approach sugar cravings or cravings in general, even if they're not like sugary, but maybe if they were like more savory or salty, but still they break down like carb dense ones, easily digestible carbohydrate kind of foods. It's not just about finding an alternative. That is just so surface level, and that is not something that's going to help long term. It can help for 30 days, but what happens when those 30 days are over? Because that is really what is important when you're talking about nutrition programs and nutrition plans, is looking at the sustainability of that. Because without the sustainability of it, you are at a higher risk for not only diet cycling, but weight cycling, which is stressful on the body. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent about cravings. I have a whole program about cravings, actually. As a side note, quick advertisement there, you can find more information about that. I'll link it in my description. I'm actually going to redo that program with just some more information, kind of update the videos, things like that. But anybody who does purchase that cravings program, they will automatically get the updated info, the updated program, just an FYI. But anyway, there's so much more to cravings than what is in here. Okay, so it just goes on talking about the other products. It gives a little bit, some examples of physical activity, some ways to hydrate, doing mindset kind of things. So reading, setting goals, self-reflection, positive affirmations, journaling. So that's kind of it. The last thing that I wanted to share, I found in one of the groups that I'm in. Somebody posted, "I didn't find BRAVENLY, it found me. I didn't know I was looking for this until this opportunity landed in my lap. I have Hashimoto's and gluten intolerance. I deal with body aches, joint pain, brain fog, stomach aches, and all of the above." Which I don't understand that, because if she says she deals with XYZ and all of the above, which is what she just said, XYZ. I don't know. "I used to go from looking 6 months pregnant after I'd eat to actually being able to enjoy food without the bloat and pain. My cycles have regulated, my pains have improved, and I've lost weight I've struggled to lose. Whether you are looking for the business side of BRAVENLY or looking to try the products, you truly won't be disappointed. So you ask, why BRAVENLY? But let me ask you, why not?" So that just kind of bothered me. As somebody who has Hashimoto's, I don't have a gluten intolerance, but I do have Hashimoto's, and I will say there are other ways to approach how you are going about with like nutrition. If you are somebody with gluten intolerance or Hashimoto's, you don't need these products. I have gotten my Hashimoto's under control. Medication has been very helpful, but also just things that are evidence-based, like this, the Health Professional's Guide to Nutrition Management of Thyroid Disease. It's written by several dietitians. You know, this is something, it's a health professional's guide, so I don't expect, you know, the general public to use that or have that. But what I wanted to say, you know, using that example is there are a lot of ways that we can approach using medical nutrition therapy that are evidence-based that don't require being a part of any kind of MLM or anything like that. So overall, it's just not a program or specific supplements that I would feel comfortable recommending a friend of mine or a client of mine. Take that however you want to take that. But if there are specific ingredients that are, you know, more interesting or ones that you want to try, there are other options to try those and ways to make sure that you are getting a dosage that is evidence-based rather than just kind of taking this proprietary blend and trusting that to be sufficient. Okay, so that wraps it up for me. What are your thoughts about BRAVENLY Global? Is this something that you have heard about? Have you been invited to learn more about the opportunity? If so, I hope this gave you more things to just kind of think about before jumping in. Hopefully you can kind of hear this. Just let me know your thoughts on this company, on the products. If you have not, please make sure that you have liked the video and check if you're subscribed or not. I would greatly appreciate that. And that is it. Remember, you can strive for health without subscribing to a diet culture. I'll see you later. Bye.